Hi, this is Christina from thegodlyindianmom.com. Today, we're not going to be doing a book review as we usually do, but we're going to be looking at some of our favorite games that we have enjoyed together as a family in my house. So I just thought I would share that with all of you. And if you are also looking for some kind of game or something to spend together as a family, I'm hoping something from this would be helpful for you. So let's dive right into it. So the first game I have here is Uno. This is like absolutely our favorite game, and it's been a favorite of mine too for a very long time because I think I played this as a child, and now it is really a pleasure to play it with my children. So Uno is a very simple game, and you can get it for 100 rupees and at Toys R Us or any place. So it's really affordable too. I think it's a wonderful game. You can enjoy it with your youngest child too. Any child who's 5 and over can definitely play this game. It's such a simple game and children really enjoy it. So the object of this game is to, we start out, if there are 4 people playing, we start out opening out a card, and each player gets 7 cards. And then if the opening card was a yellow, a card that had the color yellow, everybody plays with that yellow. The card also has a number in it. So suppose you don't have the color, you can put the number. And then it has some interesting cards like skip, that means the next person skips a turn. Draw 2 or +2, that means the next person takes 2 cards. And then you have wild, which can change the color. Or reverse, that means the game that was going in clockwise direction changes and goes anti-clockwise. So it has some really interesting cards, and this is a super fun game that I really highly recommend. That people can enjoy as a big group also. The next game is Jenga, and this one it's played by 2 people, and I think it's a very simple game, and young children can actually enjoy it because it's not difficult. So what we do is that we construct this tower just like it's shown in this picture, and then each player takes a turn to take out 1 block, and with only 1 hand. So you cannot use 2 hands, you just have to use 1 hand to push out the block and to take it out. The person who collapses the tower is the loser. So that is what this game is about. It's very simple. Even small children, 2.5, would be able to play this game. So it's absolutely a wonderful game. Next one that I have on my list is Candyland. This is a board game like to start out our youngest preschooler with it. Any child who's like 2.5 would really enjoy it. My children really love this game because it's very simple. Or you don't have dice, you have a pack of cards with different colors in it. So it looks similar, like as you can see, you start in the beginning here, and then you have to go to the castle where the king is, and along the way you have a little bit of roadblocks. And instead of a dice, you take these color cards, and whichever color you get, you go and land in that particular color. So that is how we play this game. It's very simple. Young preschoolers who are starting out with colors, and it's also a great way to teach them colors. So this is a wonderful game, and my children have really loved it, and this is one I would highly recommend. The next one on the list is HungryHippo. So this game can be played with 4 players because there are 4 hippos, and then it's a very simple game. All you need is to put the balls, and it is kind of a mechanical game where there's a lever for you to keep pressing, and then the hippo opens his mouth and grabs the balls. So this is how we play it, and so the person who wins the most of the balls is the winner. So this is HungryHippo for you. The game we have here is Newton's Tree, and this is a fairly simple game that you can play with your youngest reader, and it's not very difficult to read. It's very simple, and once the child sees the picture also, they would be able to understand what they need to do. It's a very simple game. So it comes with these particular pieces. So each person at the beginning of the game gets 3 cards. So once you complete, you can choose any card and you can play it, and once you play that card, you keep it at the bottom of the deck, and then you take a new card so that you can play in the next turn. So this is how it progresses. So the cards would have things like add a trunk or add a branch, or it would have add some apples or pluck some apples or move Newton up. So it has like very fairly simple instructions, and you keep building your tree, you keep putting apples into your tree, and obviously the person who breaks the tree loses the game. So it's a very fairly simple game, and your youngest child will definitely enjoy this particular game. So another game that we enjoyed as a family is Sketch It. This is a fairly new addition to our family, and now that the boys are getting a little older, I think we are enjoying this game. So what happens is that it's a very simple game. It has like, so we divide into teams, and if you are the team that is going to be starting, then one player from your team goes and picks a card and shows it to the other team, and then you pick what you're going to draw, and then suppose, like as you can see from this card, there are 3 categories. One, you have a name of a person or an animal or something, you would get like that, and the second one is a name of a thing, and the third one is something that you can do. So suppose I were to choose wash utensils, then that person would say it is something I do, and after that, that person doesn't talk, but he draws it for his team, and then it is the job of the team members to find out what it is, and obviously there could be a stopwatch to note time, and so it's fairly simple. So you just draw that action, and then the people try to find it, and I think this is a very, very good game. It's in a way like Pictionary. I think it's absolutely wonderful because it's so interesting to see how kids come up with very creative drawing, and it's really fascinating to see how creative they are with this game. So this has been a really big hit in our house. So this is Sketched for you. The next game that I have for you is Guess 10. This is another one that we've recently added and we've really enjoyed. There are like different categories in this particular Guess 10 game, like where the one that I have is called the Animal Kingdom, but they have cities around the world, world of sports, things that go, states of America, all around the town, and they have lots of fun different categories of this particular game. I just thought my kids really love animals, so that's the reason I got it. So as you can see, this is how the cards look like. So at the beginning of the game, you split into teams, and each team, if suppose there are only 2 teams, you give 3 cards, clue cards for each team, and then what happens is that if you're the team that is going to start playing, you take 1 card and give it to your opposite team. You don't look into it, you don't know what that card is about. So the opposite team then tells you the first 2 buzzwords, which would be, in this case, camouflage and boneless, and then the game starts, and then you ask 10 questions, because it's obviously Guess 10, and they give you the answers only yes or no. Like the first question would go, is it a mammal? Then they would say no. Is it something that has wings? Then they would say no. Then you would ask, does it live in the sea? Then they would say yes. Like that, you go on a series of questions, and if you find it before the 10 questions, you get this card. And if you do guess it before the 10 questions, you could also take the bonus question. And if you answer the bonus question correctly, in the next game, you would get 3 buzzwords instead of the first 2 buzzwords. But in case you're not able to find this animal, then you could trade in one of your clue card that you have. And if you're able to find, well and good, you win the card. If not, you lose your clue card and the card. So it's a very simple game. I think my children really enjoy it because they love animals, and I think it's really an absolutely a very good investment, because you also learn with this particular game. So this is one I definitely highly recommend. So this one is the Polar Plunge, and this one I got it because it was on discount, and that is the reason I got it. And it's been really fun because my kids play by themselves. They don't need any assistance from me to monitor. I think it's even as siblings they play together with it, and that is why I like it. All you have to do is set the board, and you get two hammers, and the polar bear stays in the middle, and there's a small spinner to tell you what you need to do. As you can see, this is the spinner. It has a white block, a dark blue block, and a light blue block, and then you have a three colored block, which means you can break any color you like, and then there's no turn also. So all you have to do is spin, and if it tells you it's a white block, you have to break only that one white block, and the person who puts the polar bear into the water is the loser. So this is a fun game. I think it's a very fun game for young preschoolers. You might need to help them set up if they're very young, but other than that, I think mostly they try to do it by themselves, and they do have fun. It's a fun game which children can play by themselves without us worrying about whether they're going to eat the small parts or things like that. And so it's a wonderful game, and I highly recommend this one too.
This game is Connect 4, and it's a fairly simple game. It's played by two players. As you can see, it has two types of coins, yellow and red. So one player takes all the yellow and the other player takes all the red. And then you have this board, and each one takes one turn and they put in one coin into the board. So the first person who connects four coins vertically or diagonally or horizontally is the winner. It's a fairly simple game, and it's very fun game to play with your youngest child.
The last one I have is cards, plain old fashioned cards. I think you can play any number of games with it. Budget friendly, absolutely wonderful. Such a fun game, I think. When I started out, my children, I started out with train. This is something we start them out with. So what happens is that you divide the, if there are two players, you divide the cards equally to both of them, and then all the cards are face down. The child doesn't see the cards, and first player keeps a card, the second player keeps a card, the first player keeps the card again, and the second player keeps the card. So you keep going on like this. How it starts is that, suppose if I had kept uh, ace in the first, and then 3 or 4 or 5 times down the line I again encounter an ace, then I can take all the cards. So this game just keeps going on a repeat. I think it's a fun game just for children to, you know, observe and to, you know, pay attention that what card is coming, and is it your time to grab all the cards. So as you can see from this picture, this is how it's played. It's very simple. All you have to do is keep placing the cards, and if you get the same card, if there is a card previously kept by somebody else and you have kept the next card with the same number, or with a king or any picture card, you can take it out. So that is one way you can play this. And the next one is the person with the highest grabs the card. Obviously, if you this is a simple game. Again, you split the cards into half. My kids have tough time holding them, so I just make them sit facing, you know, each other's backs, and so they can keep their cards down, and then you each place a card, and the one who plays the highest card grabs the card. So it's a very simple game. You can teach math with this, greater than, less than, so they learn that pretty quickly. So that's a fun way to play it. And another card game that you can play with the cards is donkey. That would be like, if I first we split the cards equally among the number of players, and then the person with the ace spade puts it down, and then everybody follows spade, and then the next person, the person with the highest card again plays. So because it's ace spade, again that person plays, and if they play a diamond, then you or everybody else plays the diamond. But and this way, and once everybody has played the diamond, you take out that cards and you put them away. It's for nobody, it's just kept aside. And again, the person with the highest number plays, and this keeps on going. And once we run into problems where people don't have cards, then they start cutting. So suppose we have started playing diamonds, and then one player doesn't have diamonds, so they would cut you with another card that they have, maybe a spade or a heart, which they have highest, they would cut. So then you would have to take all the cards. The person who has all, at the end of the game, the one who has all the cards or lots of cards is the loser. And obviously one player will end up having many cards at the end of this game. So it's a fun game which you can play, but probably for older kids. I think train would be appropriate for very younger kids, and then donkey would be appropriate for kids who are much older and understand like what's happening. It's a fun game. I think with cards you can do many multiple things, and it is definitely a very fun experience. I hope this video was helpful for you, and that it helps you to have a wonderful time spending time together as a family. And I think that's the most important thing in this world, family. And this is it from me. Until next time, see you. Bye.